Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today I'm working on my 1965 Buick Skylark. This is a GS clone. It does not have the GS frame, which is essentially a convertible frame. It's reinforced through the center to give the car more rigidity. The GS was the high-performance version of their Buick Skylark when they were allowed by GM to put a 400 cubic inch engine into their small body cars. This is a fun car. I've owned it for a few years. I've gotten a lot of miles per gallon out of it, and I really haven't done much with it. As you see, it is how I bought it from a local fella. And it's been a fun car, but it needs a few things. The water pump started leaking. I'm going to put a water pump on it. And the exhaust is kind of fallen off the car. Has some questionable repairs, and I'm just going to go ahead and take off what's on there and put on a Pypes 3-inch from the cross member back. It's a complete kit from multiple different distributors of Pypes products. It's a stainless steel X pipe with mufflers for under $700 for the entire kit. I can't build it for that, especially in stainless steel. It's a rough stainless steel, not rough, but it's a not polished stainless steel, but it is a stainless steel product. So it should last probably for the rest of this car's life. Be the last exhaust we put on this car. So with that, if you guys want to see what I do with this, stick around. Gonna get to work. Assuming I got the right part. Not even sure this thing has a petcock in it. Looks like it's just got a plug. So this is an oversized radiator. When the fella made it, it actually ended up putting an upding in the hood right there from this guy. Just a touch too much bracket, I guess. But I do have a shroud to install on here to help my cooling, and I have a larger fan, so I'll have to see if I can find those, because I got those a while ago and just never really got around to it because I've been busy with other stuff. So let's get after it. Ooh, that's a lot better on my back. Come on. What else we got to get out of my way? Well, that's a pretty simple water pump, I'm here to say. No heater hoses in my way. This is a full delete car. This was set up to be a drag car by the last guy who set it up. I'm actually going to return it to be a little more street drivable. Not that it's not street drivable now. It's absolutely street drivable now. But I like creature comforts a little more. So I will probably be putting power steering on this at some point, but that's not in the cards for today. Today I'm just going to play with the cooling system. Let's get it draining. Find a bucket. I think I just got coolant everywhere except in the bucket. That's usually the way it goes, though, I guess. At least for me it is. I think I'm going to break all these loose by hand. That one's got a nut under it, too. Nuts. Oh, that was going to break. Oh, no. Going to break. I actually think that might be my problem, not my water pump. This thing has rubber end caps on it, and it looks like one of them's split, and that's where my leak's coming from. So then poses the question, do you take it apart and put a water pump on it anyway? I think it does. You can see it's a little wet down in here on the shaft. So there is actually some trace coming out of the weep hole. Oh, that has a nut on the back too. That's why it feels like it's going to break. Well, that's good to know. Yep, the nut is moving on the back. This one over here is not cooperating. Oh man, that guy's tight. Guess I could heat up the housing because it's probably corroded between the aluminum housing and the bolts, trapping the bolt. Let's see if we can get that loose, because if I can't get that loose, I don't have time to put a front cover on this today. But that's what's going to end up happening if that bolt breaks. Let's warm it up, see what happens. Don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional. Work it. You're gonna break. Ooh, did it break? Just remember, every 1 hour job's only one broken bolt away from a 10-hour job. I've had steering gear bolts come out of the frame and they're rusted down to a toothpick. It's like, how did that not break when I took it out with an impact hammer? So I'm just kind of working this back and forth. It's free, but it's binding, which means the inside of this housing's all full of some sort of schmutz, probably just corrosion, dissimilar metal corrosion from the steel bolt against the aluminum housing, and coolant can weep in there and cause all sorts of problems. Good. So this is why I use a wrench to do this. Had I just hit that with an impact hammer, it would have just snapped the bolt off. Looks like it's going to come out. Oh, that's glorious. But I got it out. That's what's important. Ooh, I bet that thing's necked from being over tightened. Let's clean it off and find out. Glug, 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 glug. So when you're taking these old relics apart, you want to inspect your hardware. That bolt's okay, like it could be reused. This is the one that was lodged in the front cover. when I pulled it out, what I do is I run my fingers over the threads. And what I'm looking for is exactly what I found on this bolt. When you run your fingers up and down the threads, you can feel that the threads get thinner right here from there to there. And if you compare the threads, you can actually see that these threads in here are stretched. And what that means is somebody over-torqued this bolt when they were assembling it at some point. Could have been any number of times the water pump has been done on this engine. Lord only knows when this water pump was put on the last time. But that bolt I will not reuse, because if I try to pull torque on it, it will probably break, and then I'll have to take it all back apart again. So I will have to run and get a new bolt, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I can do today. I'm going to go ahead and continue, try and get it all the way back together except for the one bolt, and then I'll make a run to the hardware store or order a bolt kit or whatever I have to do. This is a critical bolt. This goes into a water passage, so you would put a sealer, a thread sealer, or a not Teflon tape, but like a liquid Teflon, or a actual head bolt sealer. Head bolt sealer would work really good on this. But that just keeps it from weeping the coolant out into that passage in the front cover, which is what caused that thing to be so gross and locked up and into the cover. Made it hard to remove. All right, let's keep going. Oh. I would say that's probably my leak. Gross. Well, let's get the rest of these bolts out of here and switch this thing out. Loose. That one's going to be rough to get back on. We'll find it in the abyss down there under the dizzy. Oh, there it is. Found it. Was drilled crooked too. Somebody must have tried to fix those broken bolts with the front cover in the car. Did a bad job of it. I think that's it. Let's knock her off. Oh. Hello. Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. I'll have to see if I can find a front cover for this car. I don't know if those are reproduced or not, honestly. Let's see if I can find a good core. Let's get this guy back on there. I ended up finding two of these long bolts for the water pump were necked. I'm going to have to run and pick those up. I'm going to go ahead and try and get this thing on here and locked down. Go ahead and put in all our small bolts. Well, I'm sitting here looking at my water pump and I'm like, man, that looks longer than the one I took off. And I realized that it is. So I guess I should have checked that before I put it on. So I got the wrong water pump. I'm going to have to take this one back off and get the correct one ordered. I didn't realize there was a difference. Oh well. Minor setback. That's cars, man. At least all my bolts are out. I got to run and grab two of the long bolts. I replaced the bottom bolts because some of those were necked as well. But I guess at some point in time in this car's life, somebody hammered those small bolts down with an impact and broke them all off, which is why all 4 of the top ones have been drilled and through bolted. But it is what it is. All right, let's take that back off and we'll keep moving forward. Well, my new pump showed up. You can definitely see the difference in height. You can see that there's more support webbing on the longer pump. Otherwise, they're completely different. Same but different. It's got extra webbing across there too. Oh well. Got the right pump, let's put it back together. Picked up my fan shroud, we'll see if we can make that work today. Probably not. Take the dowel. It's got a big dowel. It won't let me have crooked studs. Kind of messing with it here. Water pump's bent. I saw that impact mark. I didn't see that impact mark. So I guess I won't be putting a water pump on today. It's not just my imagination, right? Tweak. You can actually see the bend right across there. That's awesome. Alright, well, we'll see if they have another one of those. I was amazed I got one on the same day. I will be even more amazed if I can get 2 the same day. Let's say that's a no, Houston. You really shouldn't have to use a hammer to install your water pump. I don't think this is going to work, but they don't have another water pump in stock, so I'm going to put it together because I can. That's bent pretty good. I get the feeling that this is going to leak, but I'm curious if it will leak. Am I dumb or what? No, it's going to leak, Rich. definitely bent. It'll probably flex back. Normally I would get another pump, but it's towards the end of the day, and I was lucky that they had this one. This has big bolts. It's like 20 foot-pounds on these two big guys at the outer point, which pulls this guy down nice and snug. I think it'll be all right. So there, now we got our short pump on there. So we can just take a little bit off the corner here, mount it right into this brace, make a couple tabs for the bottom, and we'll have us a fan shroud. Yes, this is brand new, custom made. I don't remember what I paid for it, but we're gonna cut it because it doesn't fit, because it's actually made for this car, the correct configuration of this car, but this car is not in its original configuration, therefore it does not fit. Close enough. I can check my fitment. I think I'm good. Normally these have studs. This thing's so close to the radiator, you got to use bolts because you can't get over the studs. This engine could go back an inch, maybe, in the engine bay, which might give us a little better header clearance. Not sure anybody makes any headers for this car, for this specific car. This engine, it wasn't a common swap, and as far as I know, maybe it was. Maybe a bunch of people have done this. It's a lot of fun, I can tell you that. It'll be nice to have a fan shroud on it though. That should increase my cooling ability. I actually need a bigger diameter fan for this thing, but the one I have is for a larger flange hub. I'll have to do a little research into that. The large flange hub on a fan clutch has a wider pattern. It doesn't fold up to a smaller flange hub. I think I'm just going to fill this up with water because I kind of want to flush this system out. The coolant's looking kind of ucky. All things considered, the pinch welds look amazing. I don't really see any repairs. I'm sure there's mud in the corners. You can see there's been mud splattered up in there, so there's definitely a skim coat of mud covering up some stuff. We've still got all the factory pinch welds. Same back here. You can see some of that sunburst yellow poking through from the original paint. Really not any rust to be worried about though. It's a good car to toy with. I don't know if that's mud or just dirt. Something's going on there. Looks like just regular old dirt. Nice pinch welds, nice trunk extensions. That quarter looks pretty good. Well, there's no doubt that the body and the floor pans on this car are amazing, but you can see that the exhaust is gotten a little religious. Somebody even screw clamped a piece of metal to cover up a hole up there a long time ago. At least it's got stainless steel mufflers. I'll probably end up using those on something else. They're still in really good shape. Maybe I'll use one of those on the Capri. Looks like 2 1/4, maybe? I don't know. These are terminated right in front of the rear axle, which is fine, but the new exhaust is going to go out the back. Let's get that stuff unboxed and laid out. Those were about to remove themselves on the road somewhere. It's actually a pretty decently done pipe. It was mandrel bent, non-squish. Collector gaskets were even sealed up. That's a switch. Wow, that is a really big collector. So yeah, we're gonna reclaim our old header flanges and make them work. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll cut those off and reuse them. That's the easy solution. Well, I gotta get going for today. I'm gonna lop off my collectors, get those fit, and then I'll bolt them back in and start building stuff. You can see that header tube's hanging a little low. I'm not sure it's gonna stay in that place. I might have hurt it. Pypes Street Pro, chambered, kind of chambered. It's got some noise bumps in there to create turmoil. Sexy. They couldn't have fit those any tighter. It's a really nice exhaust kit. I like it. Close enough for government work. Oh, not rattling. That's good. It sounds pretty good. My fan's hitting my fan shroud, so I gotta make a little adjustment there. So I gotta put it back up here and resolve that. But I'm pretty happy with how it sounds. Gotta get a left rear tailpipe because this tailpipe's not bent right. Whatever, get a new one, put it on there. Well, that wraps up this session with this 1965 Buick GranSport. Pypes Exhaust with X-pipe, 3-inch, from the 3.5-inch collectors, 3-inch pipes all the way out the back. Sounds really good. Got the noise levels inside the cabin are much better because the exhaust isn't being released in front of the rear axle. Sounds good. The left rear pipe looks like it's bent wrong. We're gonna see if Pypes will send us another one and we'll switch it out. It should fit much better than this one because it doesn't fit real well at all. But you get that, you get bad parts. Sometimes one slips through QC. It is what it is. My header gasket ended up starting to leak, so it wasn't leaking the last time I drove it, but it's leaking now. So I guess the next order of business on this car will be header gaskets. And now I'm going to do some steering upgrades. I'll probably do big block front springs and some good tall knuckles and a big sway bar and probably a sway bar in the rear, probably some Bilstein shocks, and it should handle a lot better after all that. That'll be next. Got to keep it in the budget and do one thing at a time on this one. So at least it's drivable, it's more enjoyable, and I'm gonna go have some fun with it. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll see you guys on the next one.